The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Salesman. And welcome to the Writer's Block Podcast. I'm Mandra Bisquenet, and I believe everyone has a story to tell. What's yours?
Deborah Monk, empowering you to find your creative voice.
And Shelley Devlin, inspiring you to find your why.
Ladies, we have a very exciting show today.
We do.
We are so excited because we are helping Deb launch her new Etsy store, DeborahMonkBooks.etsy.com. So, yay, Deb! We're launching.
It went live last night.
It went live last night?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I've already shared it to my Facebook page, so hairdressers across the country can now be inspired by Deborah Monk.
Wonderful.
Books. I love that. Well, we all know that Deb has been hard at work marketing her books her way. We've heard how she doesn't like traditional marketing tools, so she's totally broken the rules and created her own marketing plan that resonates with her. And the outcome of that has been this Etsy shop, yeah?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So tell us all about it. What can we find there? How do you set it up?
Oh, gosh. How do you set? Well,
You hire somebody.
Yes, you get help.
That's a fair answer.
That's huge. You
Call it a
definitely
lifeline.
get help on the parts that you're not good at, which I'm not good at the computer part. I prefer to focus on the creative part. Mm-hmm. And every single item in my store is completely made with love, with focus and intention and complete and utter love. And for me, one of the things when I was little, my grandmother took me to a magical place unlike any other, the Arlington Public Library. And it was this big stone building that was like a castle with steps so wide I had to step up and then scramble. And through books, I found that they fed my imagination. They helped me understand that life could be better than maybe my own experience was at the time. And stories gave me faith. And one of the things that I always wanted when I was little was when a book finished, I wanted a little talisman. Because for me, books were a portal to another world. And so when the book was done and I came back into this world, I always wished there was something that I could take with me. Some little talisman,
a little reminder,
a little keepsake, a little magic stone of that book. And so realizing that is kind of what I always wanted, that is what I've created. So with my little 6 handmade books, I have designed some jewelry that specifically relate to each story.
Okay.
So like the Lost Lamb, the message of the Lost Lamb is, follow your heart and find your path. And so I made a little rose quartz heart necklace, and there's also a rose quartz bracelet. So if you read that story and it kind of resonates with you, that's where you are in life, that you're trying to remind yourself that you're trying to find the courage to follow your heart, then for me, wearing a bracelet and just being able to touch it, or just a little stone around your neck,
is that physical reminder of the message. And
so it brings the magic and the power of the story back out of the book and into the real world. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what I did. And then the one of my newest stories called Reuniting, which is about a woman's struggle to reunite her spiritual side with her human side. I couldn't find exactly what I want, so I made my own little charm, and I stamped it. But I couldn't fit it on. I didn't like the look, so I had it engraved. And so that was the last thing that arrived. And then I picked the glass beads that showed those the best. And so, yes, everything really is completely from my heart.
From your heart.
Yes.
Do you float into Michael's craft store and they know who you are?
They know me. Every one of them
float
says
in
hi.
on your cloud, on your inspiration cloud, gather your thing.
Yes.
Let's just talk for a second for listeners who may not know, what is Etsy? So it's sort of like an online cyber store.
It's an online store.
For a lot of arts and crafts type thing, or handmade things.
Right.
In this case, though.
And very unique.
Right.
They're not the type of things that you can go to Marshall's. So if you're looking for a gift.
Oh, no, it's not mass marketed. These are things that are made, in small batches. Yep. And so you can actually find your Seeds of Wisdom books there.
Yes, on my Etsy store, you can buy the book, mm-hmm. you can buy just the jewelry, or you can buy a gift set.
Okay.
So that you get the book and the jewelry together.
And why Etsy? Why do you think this is going to be a good avenue for marketing?
That's a great question. I love, look at Ed's face, our producer. He kind of looked at me, waited for an answer, and then looked away.
You seemed a little stuck.
Yeah, I did my research on the ways to try to market these things. You can do them on your own website.
Right.
Amazon.
That's my question. Like,
so I did my research to see where I would fit. Amazon Handmade is the Amazon's version of Etsy.
Okay.
But Amazon buyers are very used to being able to get their product overnight.
Yes.
And so I decided to start with Etsy, where there'd be a little bit more forgiveness on so that I can get down my shipping and my the whole process before I go to Amazon Handmade. So I may go there next. I may not. I haven't decided.
And then the one thing you said you added, Deb, was free shipping on all of your items.
Yes.
Which that kind of helped with the Amazon customers too, because with Amazon Prime, we're always getting free shipping on everything.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Etsy has an algorithm where right now Etsy is offering free shipping over $35.
Okay.
And so I had this choice: do I do that? Do I not? And I there's a good reason to and a good reason not. And it just seemed easier for me to just go across the board, free shipping.
Mm-hmm. So how did you start the process? Like, do you get assigned as someone from Etsy?
No, I found a contract, a woman in Oregon who I really, really like. She kept it simple. She told me what I needed. She was great. I hired a professional photographer because the photographs are the only thing that, that showcases you. So the better your pictures are, the better. So I hired a professional photographer to take pictures of my items. I brought everything over to her and gave her an idea of what I wanted my store to look like. And the woman, the contractor, Yvonne, helped me with the banner and all that stuff behind the scenes. Because for me, as you guys know, I only care about the beads, the bracelets, the stories, the lovebird, the covers.
You want to be making the jewelry and writing the books.
You would have screenshotted every little picture and put that screenshot up on
and
your
her
Etsy
cell
page.
phone date and time.
Her cell phone date and time
would have been in there.
Wouldn't have been very good. Right. Yep.
Well, it looks beautiful. I totally, stalked it this morning.
Yeah.
And I shared it on my Facebook page for all my friends, but it looks great. Coffee cups, wine glasses.
Right.
I love the thought of buying your book and a bottle of wine and a wine glass as a gift.
Right.
I think it's a very cool.
Well,
Very
and
cool.
I'm actually thinking, should I put, because I have coffee cup, but I also want to try making candles. So I was thinking, what if I made a wine candle that comes in the wine glass, and then a coffee candle, or hazelnut aroma coffee candle that comes in, and so then you burn the candle down and you get the mug too.
Her wine,
but I
her
have
mind never stops.
I know.
I'm trying to slow down.
It's good.
I'm telling myself I have to be. I've launched the store now. The next thing to do is to deal with all the logistics of actually having a store.
Right. When someone actually buys something,
right?
too.
Oh damn! What do I do now?
You actually have to go mail it.
You have to answer that email.
Right.
Get to your packing station.
Get the payment. Get the packing.
There's a lot involved there, and probably make it because a lot of times I make these things and then I have to wear them just to make sure they wear well, and so yeah.
Well, I think that's very exciting.
And I think the interesting thing is when you think about success, is the store opened last night. Obviously, nobody even knew. So I obviously don't.
Shelley knew. Shell was on it.
Yeah, I was on
the biggest fan.
This morning, I was stalking her page.
So if I think that you have to, I think it's smart to figure out ahead of time what success means for you so that you can achieve it. Because let's say I wanted a lot of sales. What would be considered a lot of sales? Is 100 a lot of sales? Is 1,000 a lot of sales? And if you don't label that in your mind, then you may never actually reach it. Well, for me, sales are going to be great, but it's about knowing that when I put up everything that means something to me, that feels like it's going to be a gift to somebody, that's going to make them feel better. I have I have a wood notebook, and it says, "A mermaid is a woman with a great imagination." And just things like that. So there are women who really feel like they're mermaids. Well, that we can feel that way because that's what it means.
Right. And I think the speaking about success is important because Shelley and I can get on you sometimes about Deb,
what am I doing with
why
this?
Why are you doing this? How much money have you already spent on this ribbon and these papers made of seed?
Right.
Yes. And do you expect to ever get a ROI, return on that investment? So defining, and I think we've talked about this at our writers group, is defining what success is going to look like is really important because it might be you make your money back. It might be a certain amount of sales, or it might be
It's up. The Etsy store's up, and I think Deb is like That's her. It's done. It's perfect. Look it's up. And if it makes
That's
some people
success.
happy, that's success.
Yeah,
That's success.
Right, that is success. And if it makes people happy, that also is success.
Yes.
So, and lots of sales too. That'll be great.
I think, Deb, making that connection, if you got an email from somebody that said, I purchased this product because this, and this is happening in my life, and it was such a connection, right there, you would be like, you'd be crying.
It would be all worth it.
It would be all worth it.
Yes.
For one $20 sale.
Right. Or I bought this for my sister because of X, Y, and Z, and she loved it.
But these things have already happened. I've already had
Yes.
somebody who buy the lovebird for a friend of hers who had just become a widow, and she said this is what she's trying to do. She's trying to live well, and she's a little bit struggling. And this book is perfect for her. And so that's who I'm writing for.
Right. And I just think it's always amazing to me how you have decided to buck the system a little bit on the marketing end and come up with such creative ways to market your products and your books. So,
and
bravo.
I think that I do think potentially it does make me different, meaning that I have pulled things out of the books, which for me was something I always wanted and had never seen done. I lost my point.
Well, it makes you stand out in a unique way.
Right.
Yeah.
And yet I didn't do it for that reason. I didn't say, okay, how am I going to stand out? This wasn't a marketing ploy.
Right.
This was just done with love and potentially
what felt right
yes,
for you.
What I could do well, what I thought I could do well versus what I don't think I can do well.
Right. So tell us again, where do people go? What do they type in?
You can either go to the Etsy site, just type in Etsy.com and then type in DeborahMonkBooks, all one word, or you can type in DeborahMonkBooks.com. I'm sorry, DeborahMonkBooks.etsy.com.
All right.
Yes.
Great.
Just in time for Christmas.
Just in time for Christmas,
Right?
holidays, all that good stuff.
When you're looking for something just a little bit different or unique, where it's not just I went to Michael's and bought you a candle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Marshall's.
All right. So head on over to Etsy, check out DeborahMonkBooks.etsy.com and see what creative things she's found. She's made. Thank you all for listening. And please be sure to check out the Writer's Block NH Facebook page and the Writer's Block podcast on your favorite podcast catcher. If you'd like to hear this episode again or share it with a friend, you can head on over to the UnitedPodcastNetwork.tv. That's UnitedPodcastNetwork.tv. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to inspire and empower you to tell your own story.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.